What's going on, guys? Duranathor here, and today I have a replay of an Exosister Mirror Match. Hopefully this duel will show you the difference between someone who knows the deck, which is myself, as opposed to someone who doesn't know the deck, which is my opponent. I'll run through a couple of the things that both of us do wrong, in all honesty. He goes first. First thing he does is pops down the Irene. I try and max C, thinking that he's going to he's going to Ellis, special summon, overlay, try and get some draws out of his special summoning. He ashes, which is fine. I don't really have any other responses, so at this point it's a case of just let him play, let him see what he does. He activates Irene effect, putting Armand to the bottom of the deck and drawing a card, and then he plays the Exosister packs. Fair play to him, he plays the Irene in an attempt to bait out the Ash. You can be inclined to negate the Irene with an Ash because it puts a card to the bottom of the deck as cost, so he would have ended up with one less card in his deck, but one, I don't have the Ash, two, there is no reason to Ash it, because if he had packs, as he did, he'd just keep going anyway. This is probably what you want to Ash if they have already used Sophia, Irene, or if they haven't just flat out Martha'd. Speaking of Martha, he adds the Martha, which is the wrong play. And you can tell that just goes straight to his end phase. Let's just find Martha a moment. Martha specifically states if you control no monsters or only XYZ monsters, you can special summon this card. So whether or not he just, I don't know, whether or not he just shotgunned it, or whether or not he doesn't know how to play the deck, which is what I think, because of later on in the duel. But he ends his turn on just a 400 Irene, which pretty much opens the floodgates for me, because I've got Stella and Sophia. I draw another droplet, which isn't great, but I Stella effect to Sophia effect to draw a card, drawing Martha. Overlay into Caspatel, because I want to do the same thing. I'm going to detach one to add one. Add the Ellis. I want to try and bait his Ash. So hopefully he would Ash the Caspatel, thinking that I didn't have my Martha. He doesn't Ash, so yeah, I add the Ellis for almost no reason. But I'd rather do that than go into Mikais to try and add a Spell or Trap and have that get Ashed, because I can Martha, Ellis, Mikais, search Spell and Trap. Play the Martha, play the Ellis, and he shotguns a Nibiru. Now, I understand the reason for playing Nibiru. If you're playing Crossout Designator, you want it as your target. I don't play Nibiru because I have no reason to want to summon it, or to be inclined to want to summon it as he does here. So he is going to tribute the entire board. It's the best time to do it, because Ellis and Martha were going to make Mikais, and then I would have the response of banishing something if I wanted to. Probably would be the Irene, but he does it at the right time, gets rid of everything, summons Nibiru, gives me a token. The token is massive, 4832. I think I set both droplets just to have them both set. Now, he controls Nibiru, but he has a Martha in his hand, which says if you control no monsters, or only XYZ monsters. So he can't summon his Martha. He has a dead card in hand, and only one. Draws, switches to defense, ends his turn. So I pretty much know at this point, he can't do too much. I'll set my own Returnia. I move the token to attack mode. This was the wrong thing to do. 100% the wrong thing to do, because if he changes his Nibiru to attack mode and attacks me, destroys his own Nibiru, he can then Martha. I shouldn't have done this. Don't know why I did it. I guess, I've got droplets. He sets one and passes. Doesn't suicide it, which I think he should have done. I draw a Lightning Storm, which doesn't do too much. I Harpies, just in case this is a Vadis. It is a Returnia, and I forgot to put. Returnia also says if all monsters you control are Exosisters. So his wasn't live. The thing that I couldn't have let him do was Vadis. I know he can't do Sophia Irene unless he's playing 2 Irene. He would have had to go for Stella Ellis, but he could Stella effect to summon the Martha, normal summon another, and then he could just go complete flat out. Mikais banish the token. I know I've got the droplets, but I just couldn't let him activate Vadis if it was Vadis. So he draws, passes. So this becomes very much a stalemate of whoever gets what they need. At this point, I could start going for it. The Returnia still won't be live because I have the token, but I do have droplets. So I summon the Martha, play the Ellis, overlay them, I believe, into Mikais, because I want to do the spell and trap search. Detach one to add the spell and trap. He effect veilers, which is fair. This does give me the chance to chain with the banish if I want to, and at this point I was kind of thinking banish the Nibiru, just go face, 4, 5, 6, because it's game. I didn't realise it was game, so I don't do anything. I banish his Irene instead, because I'm in the mindset of, you know, he has Nibiru, he can't do anything, why do I want to do anything? I should have banished the Nibiru and just punched face twice, would have been game. I don't think he had anything in his hand, but I end turn, because I'm silly. I may know the deck, doesn't necessarily mean I know how to play the game. Moves this Nibiru to attack mode, runs over the Mikais. Best thing to do, really, otherwise I get another spell and trap search next turn. Summons his Martha, Ellis, to go into his own Mikais. Now, he does it the wrong way round. He tries to banish straight away. He should have done the spell and trap search, because I would have had to chain droplet to stop him from searching the spell or trap, because he could pretty much just start going off from here. I thought you could get rid of the token. You can't get rid of the token, because otherwise I'd droplet, get rid of the token, and stop the Mikais, because I have Lightning Storm to then clear up his board, unless he can somehow get into Magnifica, but he normaled Martha, and he still has Nibiru, so he can't use Martha's other effect. Instead, he tries to banish the token, which means I can chain the droplet to stop his Mikais, which also stops his spell and trap search. So he did it in the wrong order. It happens. I get rid of the Lightning Storm because I'm just going to be keeping the token now. He's also got rid of a Martha in his hand. I don't know if he has another one because he has been drawing quite a bit. I draw a Vadis, which is perfect. I'm going to run my token into his Mikais because I don't want him getting the spell or trap search. I'm going to set the Vadis because I can summon my Irene, my Sophia, and hopefully get a draw or two out of it. He ends his turn, but keeps his Nibiru in attack mode, which makes me think that he wants me to attack. But once again, keep it on the board, doesn't really do too much. Draw the Ash for his Vadis. I think, right, at this point, I'll Vadis. He Ashes. All of this could have been avoided if I just banished his token and just hit him twice in the face, but we move. Vadis goes. I've also got the Ash. If he tries to Martha somehow, if he suicides in Martha, Vadis. As I said, I know one of his Marthas gone. I don't want him getting this, so I get rid of my Returnia to droplet his Stella. In hindsight, don't think it really mattered which one I got rid of. I think it was better to hold on to the Ash, but I draw another one. You never knew what you were going to draw, so doesn't matter too much. Except draw another Ash. At this point, I smash the token into his Stella, which puts him down to 400. So this is really, really important if you're playing against Exosister. All of their spells and traps say you pay 800 in order to do something. All of the monsters said they gain 800. What I've done here by putting him down to 400 has meant that he is now locked out of his spell and traps unless he can Stella to summon Ellis, or Ellis with Stella on the board. He switches Nibiru to defense. All I need is an Exosister monster with 400 or more attack. I draw an Imperm. Set the Imperm. Still don't want to kill this. I know I've got the Ash for his Martha. I've got an Imperm for whatever else he plays. But there still isn't too much point playing this, just in case it lets him pop off quite a bit. I don't want to do that. We're just keeping it simplified game state. He sets one, passes, which is frustrating because I draw Martha, which could have let me have the game. I'm going to kill his defense position monster. The defense position monster was the better shout to go for. It was either going to be a hand trap or it was going to be another Exosister. If it's an Exosister and I kill Nibiru, it then gives him the chance, especially if it's Stella, to start popping off again. So keep his Nibiru on the board. This is why I don't play Nibiru. It's really, really screwed him over. He plays Stella. I had the Imperm the Stella, and pretty much at this point, you know, it's game over. So I think he changes his Nibiru to attack and suicides him. You know, I had the 2 droplets, I had the Imperm. It is what it is. But I don't... I don't see the point in playing the Nibiru because it just locks you out. He should have suicided it in. I never should have changed my token to attack mode. I also should have Mikai's to banish his Nibiru and just hit face and, win the game. But the turning point was right at the beginning where he adds Martha instead of Ellis. If he Irene'd to add Ellis, overlaid into Caspatel, detached one, went into Martha, overlaid, went into Magnifica, I don't think I would have won this game. Yes, I had the droplets. You can only animate 1 droplet per turn. I would have had to discard a monster to stop him from just switching out his Magnifica. I really, really don't think I would have won. I'll just check his deck just to make sure. He's playing the Nibiru as a cross-out target, which is fair. This is pretty much like, standard. 3 Ellis, 3 Stella, 1 Irene, 2 Sophia, 3 Martha. 3 Maxi, 3 Ash. Pretty much standard. I think he's got Ghost Ogre for a cross-out designated target as well, which is interesting. But, I just don't like Nibiru. And it kind of showed that maybe he didn't fully know how to play the deck, because he left himself with just Irene, and he left himself with just Nibiru. But, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown, hope you guys learned something, and I will catch you next time.